Hey, welcome back everyone. It's Andrew at Microphonic Designs here at United South High School. United South, up there. Anyhow, I am excited to wrap up setup number 3 down here for all of the United ISD campuses. And this one took a while today. It's not as complicated as the one on Monday, Tuesday at United High School. And it's not quite as big as the previous video at Alexander. But there was still a lot of stuff that had to get done. Like they had a ton of 25-foot cables, and it just took a while to get all the cable management looking good and everything. But y'all know I took my time and got that done. So with that said, let's take a look at the lay of the land here. We have 5 marimbas. Marimbas 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 3 vibraphones are kind of back. They're in the back row, kind of over on side 2. Vibes 1, 2, and 3. And then we've got one main stage set up over that way. We'll take a quick look just so you can see what's up. We'll take a look in more detail here in a minute. So there's the synth setup. We've got 2 modest speaker stacks. We've got the Yamaha Active speakers. These are the DSR 115s, and I believe the DXS 18s on the bottom. And you'll see here that they've got some tiny little batteries by Jackery. These are the 300 watt, and these have been working fine. I plugged these in today. We said, you know what, let's give it a try, kind of like what we were doing at United High School. And even at 60% battery, this stack here, I was bumping some tunes for like 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes earlier, and we just powered down at, what was it, 36%. And I was really pushing some air with this. So I think these little batteries are going to be just fine for what they're doing. So I'm excited to see how that works for them. Of course, if they get outside and the batteries start draining faster, well, then we'll just run a power cord out to it. But I think the batteries will be fine. The mixer cart, this is on one of those McCormick's Rebel carts. You know, I've been seeing these more and more this year in particular. I think they just came out. And they're pretty all right. I think they're like, they give us options for sure. It's lightweight, it's affordable. I wish there was a little bit more, I wish it was a little bit more cable management friendly, and you'll see what I'm talking about, because with all of the wireless stuff over here that we'll look at, it's like a canopy of cables in the top, but I kept it as clean as I could. So they've got a Yamaha TF5 sitting up top. We've got 2 power conditioners, we've got a live wire and a Furman. And then I put in their RF Venue Distro 4 box, and that's feeding 4 of these Shure SLX4 units. And these are all in the H19 band, which is 542 to 572 megahertz. And right now, I've only got this top left one connected to the mixer with an XLR cable, because we're a little low on XLR cables, at least that are of the appropriate length. So if they need to add more like wireless to their show, they could just buy a couple of 5-foot cables and plug in these other units to whatever available channels are up top. Should be super easy to do. And of course, if they would like some backup, I can always schedule a video call with them to help get that done. So no problem there. And the distro box also has the antenna inputs here, but I didn't do the jumper cables. Instead, I connected the long cables in the back of the box, and I just have them right here, because they've got the RF Venue diversity fin. So the antennas, the cables for the antenna are just right up here on top of the mixer. And I've just kind of got them down like that. They're coming up through this little hole here. So that's what we have going on. Let me show you the back down here. This is where it got kind of crazy. I really wanted to make sure they had room in the bottom for their snakes. We've got blue snake here and yellow snake here, and we've got 2 of the D'Addario modular snakes. But yeah, it's like a canopy of cables that I somehow managed to keep up off of the bottom. And it looks a little crazy because I had to use 4 of the regular power adapters for the receiver units instead of those short little cables that go from the distro box to the receivers. So we've got like 4 of the wall warts in here. But again, I kept it as clean as I could, given that's just what we had, you know, that we couldn't find the short little power cables. And And you'll see back there, I've got that power conditioner almost maxed out. We've got one more open plug over there on the right. So that's what's going on. And then not much over here, just the empty power conditioner. So again, plenty of room down here for each snake. We've got the side 1 snake and the side 2 snake. And so on that note, we do have 2 distinct zones that the snakes carry audio for. The blue snake over here is going to carry the audio for the synth left and right, marimba 1 high and low, marimba 2, and marimba 3 high and low. So we've got 8 channels that comes into the middle here. And because they have a Mac Mini over on the synth setup, there's already a battery in the car. So I'm not worried about running a power cable out there. They just can't forget to charge that battery, just like with the speakers. So this is zone 1. This is the blue snake. Zone 2, the yellow snake, again, it can be housed here, and then it comes out this way. And this one is going to carry the signal from marimbas 4 and 5 and vibraphones 1, 2, and 3. And again, let's take a look at the cable management here. So here's marimba 3, and you'll see I've just had to do a lot of cable management to keep those 25-foot cables from getting unruly. And there's yellow and double yellow. So this might be something new for their students because I've refreshed the color coding. So if you're new to the channel and you've not seen how we do this, we use a single stripe of color, like for whichever color it is, to designate which cable is for the high-end microphone. And we use the double stripe of the same color to denote which cable is for the low-end microphone. And so this entire marimba here, marimba 3, is designated the color yellow, and so we differentiate the mics with single and double stripe. That's how that works. And then again over here, we've just got more cable management. You'll see here we've got double blue for the low mic on marimba 2, single blue for the high-end mic, more cable management, and then it comes in here to the snake. So again, the kids are just gonna have to pay attention for a good while. Single stripe, double stripe, but they will get used to it. They just have to be diligent in the beginning to make sure they get used to it. And then here's a little bit more cable management coming down marimba 2 with the cables from the synth. And here's just a quick look. I actually just had a conversation with the director before turning on the camera. They're going to be looking into getting some type of rack mount system for the Mac Mini down here, and it's going to be awesome. And then they've got this really cool little $25 Logitech with the mouse pad on it. I love that little combo there. I think that's really cool. So yeah, that's the Mac Mini station. The vibraphones have a particular note that's important to be aware of. Again, because we were a little bit low on XLR cables, basically what we have, we'll start with Vibe 3 since we're here. So Vibe 3 has the color green, and I used a 30-foot cable, did some cable management down here. This cable comes up and forward on its own to the snake. So when they unplug, that student's gonna have to wrap up their cable and like put it over this pipe, whatever this thing is. And so the cable that comes forward is attached to the instrument. They cannot forget to unplug the snake and store it before they roll away. And the same is true for Vibe 2, except in this case, it's 2 cables that are attached together that carries the signal for Vibes 1 and 2. So again, you'll see here, this is attached to this Vibe, like it's on there. So they just need to remember when they unplug the snake, or from the snake, they wrap up and hook the cables here, and then they can roll away. There's a quick look at the yellow snake, which has a piece of yellow tape on the end to designate where it goes. And then this is just, again, pretty standard cable management going on here to carry the signal over from Vibe 1. So they'll just connect there. Real simple. So that's pretty much it. They do have the ability to, whoops, flashlight's going crazy. They do have the ability to use a sideline mic if they wanted to do that, because they could just plug straight into their mixer. We've got, again, the capability of 4 channels of wireless, and I've got the mixer all programmed the same way that I always do. If you would like some tips and tricks on how to program a Yamaha TF console, check out the video I did. It's labeled like everything you need to do to get your TF mixer ready for marching season. I followed all those steps. I put the binder away, but I got the checklist printed out where we got marimbas, vibes, synth left and right, solo channels 1 and 2, and we've got DCAs. So the DCAs, if you're not sure what those are, these are basically group volume controls for all of the marimbas, and then we've got all of the vibes on one slider. So if they need to turn one of those subsections down during a performance because maybe the kids went crazy and they all shared energy drinks and they're just overplaying and they got to turn the marimbas down for the ballad, they can do that easily with the marimba DCA. That's what that's for. And then we've got just a standard stereo left-right output here, so we're not doing a separate sub-send, so that they could just do a single cable out of the side of the cart out to their speaker stacks. And one thing that was interesting, I discovered that their output number 15 on the back of the board here was broken. It just was not sending out signal. So I've moved their left channel, the left output, to output number 14. So we've got 16 outputs to work with. Number 15 is down for the count. So we've got plenty more, but that is just a thing to note as they go forward in their season. I've also color-coded just underneath where those cables connect so that in the event they get disconnected, they can easily put them back where they go. And yeah, here's the rest of our snakes coming in, and there we have it. And I actually, you know, this is one of the things I like doing about these videos, is that I just remembered I need to make their DCAs and outputs recall safe. So let's do that together real quick. We'll go into setup, we'll go to recall safe, output. I'm gonna scroll down to stereo, we're gonna say safe, and then we'll do the two DCAs as well. So what this does is it prevents scene changes from affecting the DCAs and the main output. And that's important because if I turn the marimbas down for the ballad, I don't want the next scene in the ballad to cause them to go back up. So we've just got live control that stays where we put it no matter what, and then all of the rest of the channels will be affected by scenes, which is what will allow them to turn soloist mics on and off, move the front ensemble volume up and down, etc. So anyhow, y'all, hope that was a fun, quick look at the United South 2025 front ensemble setup. Again, a long day, but I'm very proud of how it came out, and I really appreciate the staff here having me out, trusting me with this process. And of course, if you would like help with your front ensemble's audio situation, get in touch. You can reach me directly at andrew@microphonicdesigns.com, or you can reach out on our website. It's microphonicdesigns.com/contact. We've got the submission form where you can fill out some details, or if you're a fan of phone calls, you can book a call on like the little Google thing we have on there. Either way, we're happy to help out. And again, the mission is just to make sure that you guys can focus on your students instead of getting bogged down with the sound gear. I do not want this stuff getting in the way of you music teachers being able to focus on your students. That's the most important thing to me, full stop. So until next time, y'all, take care. I'll see you then. Peace.